Hello, everyone. My name is Tish, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first video, so I'm really new to this whole YouTube experience. But I would like to thank my brother. He actually has his own YouTube channel. It's called Mike Hard TV, and I'll post the description or his link in the bottom for encouraging me to be able to do it. His channel has a lot of juicy gossip and a lot of like post episodes of like all the reality TV shows, and there and reviews on them, and just kind of give you a synopsis of what's going on, you know, in the love and hip hop, the pose, the you name it, he probably does it. But so I just wanted to thank him for giving, the words of wisdom to be able to encourage me. But not only him, but giving honor to God because he's the one who laid it on my heart to be able to do this. And you can kind of understand and get a understanding of what this entire video will be about. It will be about my NCLEX experience. I'm also going to give you a few tips on what to do, like what to expect whenever you go for your exam, because for me, I didn't know. And so not knowing was kind of difficult and cost me some time as to why I ended up running out. So on the morning of my exam, I actually, they always tell you that you want to get there early as possible to your exam. But let me tell y'all about the crazy morning that I had before my exam. So first of all, I did not sleep well because I was so anxious about taking my exam, and my anxiety level was probably on 20. Okay. I kept waking up every hour on the hour and could not really get to sleep like I wanted to. But so I end up stop even fighting it, and excuse me, ended up watching some YouTube videos. I think I watched like an hour long recap of NCLEX review stuff on YouTube, and don't ask me why, but I mean, some of it helped because some of it was on my exam, so I guess it was beneficial. And then I just decided to go ahead and get up. My exam was, no, not March. It was May 29th. So, about 2 weeks ago from today is actually when I found out that I actually passed. But, yeah, like, so I couldn't sleep. I couldn't stay asleep. Let me just say that. I could sleep. I couldn't stay asleep. So I woke up. I went on and just decided to go ahead and get up, get dressed. Um, then I had kind of packed the bag, but not really packed the bag. I knew what I wanted to eat for breakfast. They also tell you to get a good breakfast before you go take your exam. I would suggest nothing too hardy, or nothing too like greasy or unhealthy, but keep it light but filling, if that makes sense. So I did oatmeal with banana, and that does it for me. But also, if you plan on taking like practice exams prior to getting your doing your actual NCLEX, then you want to test out certain things that you want to eat throughout, you know, for your breaks as well as before you take your exam, because you don't want to get tired just in case you are in there for the entire 6 hours like I was. And so yeah, so I packed up my ate my breakfast, packed up my bag, and then I got in my car. I was ready to go. Realized I forgot my glasses at home. Crazy me. And then so I had to turn back around, come get my glasses at the house, and then by the time I got back in the car, my oil light had came on. So I had to stop at Kroger, get get some oil to put in my car, and then travel on. So I got to the testing site around, I want to say it was like 7:15 ish. It may have been earlier than that. So the building wasn't open. So I thought the building would have been open, but the building wasn't open. So I had to, and I think it may have been early this 7 because I think I actually, yeah, I think it was like 6 something whenever I got into the testing site. It was like 6:45. So the building wasn't open. So I ended up having to go to a hotel that was nearby, and because I had to use the bathroom, um, I really had to go. Um, and so and I couldn't hold it. I don't know why I didn't go before I left the house. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I was just so anxious that I may have my bladder may have been all dried up and I couldn't go. But anyways, so then by the time I got back, the building was open. So I went on in and I ended up you see people in the hallway, everybody looking nervous. So, some people's thing is to talk. I'm not a big talker. I like to just, especially if I don't know you, it's not anything wrong with it. So I was talking to them and, I was being cordial, but of course I'm just like, I'm a nervous wreck. Like, everybody leave me alone. But it's all good. They wanted to talk, so if they found comfort in talking, then I'm okay with it. So whenever you get into the exam, this is what I want to get into because I didn't know quite what to expect. So when you get into the room, our space was kind of small. So I don't know if all of them are, but our space was kind of small. So when you get into the room, they had us take a number. And so you take a number, and then it was a guy at the front desk. And so he tells everybody, go ahead and cut off your phone before you get up here because then you just sit back down and wait till they call your number. So you go up there, you give them your first and last name, you spell it out, and then you have to do a palm print. You have to do a palm print of both your hands. So you do a palm print of both your hands, and she'll instruct you on what to do. And then you'll put your cell phone and any electronics that you may have. So watches, and they also, oh yeah, watches, any electronics you got, you put them in there. And I wear a Fitbit, so I had to put my Fitbit in the bag as well as my cell phone. And then they tape it. They do all this. So you just hand them the stuff and they do all of this. And so if you wear glasses, they have to examine your glasses because I guess people have been known to have like microphones or cameras on their glasses or something crazy. Who knows? Technology is kind of wild and out there. So whatever they were looking for, they expect your glasses. So then you go to the other lady, or in our case, it was another lady. And so, no, let me go back. So if you have a bag of snacks and things, then you put those in a locker. So it was like a set of probably like 12 or 15 lockers over there. So you put your stuff in there and they give you a key and you hold on to your key for the entire time. So the only thing you can take in there. So you can't chew any gum while you're in there. You can't have gum in there. You can't, I had some other notes. You have to stay on the floor whenever you if you take a break, and then you can't get up till the proctor comes in, and you have to do the palm print when you leave out the room and when you go back in the room. So the only thing you take in the room is if you have glasses, of course, and your license and that key if you have stuff that you took in there. That's it. So if you had plans, if you normally chew gum like I do during your exam, you can't do none of that. If you have mints, I wouldn't suggest you trying to do that either. But those are just a few tips. So if you do like practice exams, I would allot for quite a bit of time because I know for my break, baby, when I tell y'all I was sitting there for like 2-3 minutes for that woman to see my hand, and I wasted time doing that. And so she was wasting part of my time, but I digress. Uh, she wasted part of my time. So you palm print in and out every time you get up and go. And so my thing had prompted me to take. They give you 2 out, like after 2 hours of testing, then you get those two. Then it prompts you if you want to take a break. Of course, all this time your time is still running even while you're taking a break. So excuse me. So you taking a even while you taking a break. So if you want to take a 20-minute break, you're more than welcome. I mean, I wouldn't suggest it, but by all means, do you. Um, so you do that, and like I say, you got a palm print in and out. Um, and they try to get you back in as quick as possible, but it's the getting out that I found to be a headache, because that woman was not looking around like she was supposed to. I don't know what she was doing on her little computer screen, but she was not looking around, and so she was wasting a little bit of time, but it's all right at this point. Also, your time start. I didn't know this before I sat down. So your time actually starts. They give you like practice questions to get you acclimated to the system and how questions will be answered and how they look. When I tell y'all that I was so nervous that they had asked me to put the I think the months of the year in alphabetical order. And when I tell y'all that I was nervous even doing that, as if I don't know my ABCs, like it was ridiculous. And I think the other question was like, is your what color is an orange? Nervous. I was a nervous wreck, y'all. So those are just my few little tips. Just if you have just a lot more time than you may think for your breaks, because your time isn't contingent upon when you can just get up and go. The proctor has to come relieve you, sign you out, and then you have to palm print out, and then you have to go to your locker and get your juice or go to the bathroom or do whatever you got to do. Come back, palm print in. She got to log you back in, and then you're a go. So it's going to take you a little more time than you probably anticipated. But I just kind of wanted to give people that information, because that would have been good information whenever I was taking my practice exams, because I had no clue that I knew you would probably have to palm print or fingerprint in and out, but I didn't know about, the proctor having to come relieve you. I thought you just get up, go seek out the proctor, and then, have them let you out the room, and, I know. So I'm giving it to you all as freebies. I hope this helps. I hope those help. To kind of put your mind at a little bit ease for the pre-exam. So let's get into what this thing is all about. The exam itself. So of course you know that I ran out of time. So I was in there the complete 6 hours. And I think I stated this before, but I hadn't even got to 75 questions before that 2 hour time had prompted me. That's how slow I was moving. I ain't never ran out of time on no exam but this one. None of my exams in school, I didn't run out of time. I would have plenty of time. And I mean, but like I said, I was just a nervous wreck. And so since I was so nervous, when I mean nervous, I mean real nervous. Like I was very anxious. I was shaking. I was nauseous. But that's why I normally chew gum sometimes during class, because it's like a nervous tick of mine. But if you have one of those, you can't use one of those. And yeah, so you're going to have to figure it out. They also give you the little board that you can write on for, math problems and all of that. Yeah. So, but it's like a dry erase marker. It's not like a pen. So if you like clicking pens, then you can't do that on that either. So I got to question like 254, and everybody is always like, you want to prepare your mind for 265 questions before you take your exam, so you're not shocked if you get them. I did that. But when I tell y'all, after that 75th question, when it kept going, and then the 76th, and then the 90th, then the 150th, and then the 200th, like, y'all, I was tired. I was tired, and I was just like, oh, okay, we going the full mile, okay? We doing this whole thing. So after a certain period, you might want to just minimize that little timer and your questions and just keep answering them. So my first 75 questions, I thought I was at least doing decent, because they tell you if you get a lot of the SATA questions, which are the select all that apply, then you're doing really well. Um, I didn't know that. My brother told me that, because he's an LPN, and whenever he took his NCLEX, he said that's what happened. Whenever you get a lot of those, then you're doing really well. You're above the mark. So I thought I was doing good. I mean, granted, each question I felt like what what is this? Like, I know I know for a fact it won't nobody but God, because though I know I have the knowledge base to answer questions, and I know content, it's just the point of, I don't think I was as confident as some people say they were. Um, I was I was just nervous, and really a lot of questions. Oh, that's what I want to tell y'all. When I tell y'all, this is how nervous I was. I had a question about amiodarone. Y'all, when I tell y'all that I could not think of what amiodarone did, I mean, that thing tickles me even to this day. Like, I could not think of what that drug was. I was like, I know. Now, it was some drugs on there that I had never heard of, but, I just tried to pick the best answer that didn't, sound stupid. Um, but yeah, like, I drew a complete blank. Baby, when I tell you complete blank, I was like, I know this drug. I know this drug. I know. I think we learned about amiodarone from farm owned. Somebody was talking about it. It came up each quarter. But baby, I drew a complete blank. So that entire time, like I said, I'm just a nervous wreck. I'm just shaking, taking my little mental prayer breaks, and just asking God to calm my nerves and calm me down. Now, if anybody that knows me, I'm pretty cool, calm, and collect. But that day, I was in shambles, and I was all over the place. I didn't know whether I was going or I was coming. And that's how I know it was nobody but God. Nobody but Him. Nobody but Him. Because I wasn't as confident as I probably should have been in my answer abilities. But praise God that it was enough. It was more than enough. Um, so, I felt, so leaving out of the exam, I got to question like 254. And leaving out of the exam, I just felt defeated. I felt like, no way they're going to pass me, because they seen I ran out of time. And, you know how nursing school is about time management. And, I'm like, no way they're going to, allow me to practice, because, I'm telling myself all these different reasons why they won't allow me to practice. And so I called my mom. I don't think my engine got turned over good before I got her on the phone. I was just like, Ma, Ma, Mommy. Like she was like, what's wrong, baby? And I'm like, I ran out of time. So I'm driving. No, let's scratch that. Jesus was driving. Because I was so in my own head and so far, I don't know, not there. Jesus took the wheel that day. Okay? He dispatched his angels and they drove their car to the house. Because when I tell y'all, I was on the phone with my mama, like, I was sitting on my couch, not controlling a 2,000 pound vehicle. Listen. That's how I felt. Like, I was crying because I felt like I let people down. I'm like, what if I let people down? And what if I just, I don't pass? And whole time she was like, we're just going to trust and believe in God. Now, anybody that knows me knows my mama is my boo. And that's my mama. That's my boo. That's my heart. So we like best friends. So I talked to her. She has been through this journey through thick and thin with me. She has been in the trenches with me. She has encouraged me like no other. So, but anyways, so I was just a nervous wreck. When I tell y'all, I was a nervous wreck. Like, I was sad. I was disappointed. I was feeling like I was going to be an embarrassment because I know people get nervous whenever they tell people when they take their exam, but I told everybody so that I can make sure that I knew it was real and it's going to happen and this is the day that it's happening. And you know, I just had, though in the moment, like soon as I left out of the exam, I was feeling defeated and a little less faith. Like, my faith was a little low. Um, Leading up to it, my faith was strong. My confidence was strong. Um, and because I was doing the work. I was doing the work. And though I was getting questions wrong, I was understanding why I was getting them wrong, but I was doing the work, y'all. Like, I put in the work. Like, I missed my best friend's 30th birthday. She only turned 30 once. Like, I missed that because of it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, nursing school is a huge sacrifice. And even after you finish your final exams, it's still a sacrifice. Like, so, but yeah, but even, like, between nursing school and when I took my exam, I took a 2 week break because I needed the money. Okay? I needed the money and I needed to be able to have a little piece of change in my pocket because I was really tired of being broke. And I don't know that really helped, but it made me feel good because I didn't have to study like that. But even though I should have been studying, but it's water under the bridge at this point. So let's get into like the waiting period. So I refused to allow myself to go down a rabbit hole after I got off the phone with my mama. Cause soon as I got home, I was wanting to look up, has anybody ever passed because they ran out of time? Cause I had never known anybody to run out of time. The majority of the people that I talked to had either passed it in 75 questions, but nobody ever said that they ran out of time and still passed. I mean, nobody said that they ran out of time, period. And definitely nobody has said that they ran out of time and still passed. So that's another reason why I wanted to take the time out to do this, because it's only a few other people that have done videos on this topic. And I just wanted to be, an encourager and a light, for anybody that may be thinking that they did a horrible job. And apparently, according to some of the other videos that I watched up here, that they really only judge you based off the last 60 questions, even though you may have run out of time. And so if you're above like the normal level, then, or above like that average level, then you pass. Like, that can determine whether or not you pass. But I had never heard of that, and I don't know how true that is, but you can take it with a grain of salt. Just go in there and do your best. So I refused to do the pay any extra money. First of all, because I didn't have no money, and I didn't have no money for that. Let me say that. I had the $8 that it take to get the quick results, but I just kept checking my state website, and that's what I would suggest everybody do. I mean, I would check on the quick results because that's when it would tell you that your results were in. So that first day, so it was a Wednesday. So after my little breakdown in the car on my way home, I actually called. No, I came home, took a little nap, um, set my alarm, and went to Bible study, and then I worked out because I was just like. And crazy part is when I woke up, I had this calm and peace. I had so much peace. When I tell y'all, I had like when they say the peace that surpasses all understanding, that's what I had when I woke up. I was just at peace about it. Now I don't know where that peace came from. I don't, and I ain't argue with it. I was just at peace. And then I went to church, went to Bible study, worked out, came home, chilled out. I had to work that following Thursday night, so I had kept checking our state website to see if my name was out there, and it just kept saying the pending, um, whatever it says. Um, I don't even know what it says. The process, application in process, I think is what it says, till you pass. And so I kept checking that, kept checking the quick results to see if my results had been posted. But of course, you're supposed to wait 48 hours for that. But so I'm at work, I check a couple of times while I'm at work. So then something told me. Now I work nights, so I work from 6:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. So in the hospital as a nursing tech. So I I normally take my break around 3 o'clock in the morning. Yes, 3 o'clock in the morning. Um, so when I got back, something was just like, just check it, Tish. When I tell y'all that my name popped up, and I had to get somebody else to read it for me because I just didn't believe it. I believed in God, but I didn't believe it. And all throughout that waiting process, I was just like, there's still, I don't know why I kept saying this, but I was like, they're still trying to figure out how this happened. They're still trying to figure out how this happened. Like they on the other end of that computer trying to figure out how this happened. How, they're still trying to figure it. They can't wrap their head around it. And I'm just standing on that. I'm trusting and believing in that. Like, I don't know nothing until I see it written. And I said I gave myself to Friday. So by this time it is technically Friday. It's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. Um, so I'm just like, I'm just standing on that. And whole time, now mind you, I had things planned. So I had my boyfriend was coming that following weekend. So we was supposed to celebrate. Um, I'm already thinking in my head like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hang out with him. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to um and then I have graduation coming up next week. So he was here this past weekend. The first weekend in June. I have graduation next weekend, and then I have a wedding to go to. We have a wedding to go to that following weekend. So whole time I'm like, okay, I may not be able to go to the wedding. He already got the room and stuff, but I was like, I'm prepared to break the news to him and tell him that I'm not going. And I was ready to, re up my money for other practice tools and just sacrifice my time. I'm like, I'm going all the way in. I thought I went in before, but I'm about to go all the way in now. Like, so This is my thought process all in the waiting period. So let's get back to 4 o'clock Friday morning. So something just said check it. So I check it, and I had to get my coworker to look at it and read it to me to let me know that it's real. Cause I didn't believe it, y'all. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. So, mind you, it's 4 o'clock. So I'm on Central Standard Time. Central Standard Time. My parents and pretty much everybody else is on Eastern Time. So I'm like, I'm calling my mama now. Now, my mama working in the school system, so I knew either she was already up or she was about to get up. So I called her and I was like, Mama, Mama. She was like, what? That's right. She was like, you passed, didn't you? I was like, yes. So I had to run outside, y'all. I screamed. Now, mind you, it's other hospitals around us, but I ain't care. I said, I can't scream in the building, but I'm going to scream out this building. So I get off the phone with her. We praising God. We excited. We're in awe. So I'm just like, okay, next person I got to call is my boyfriend. So, short story about us. He came in at the tail end of my nursing school. But when I say he was an encourager too, and a supporter, and he prayed for me as well as I know my mama prayed for me as she always does, but he prayed for me and with me, and so I had to tell him. I had to tell him. And thankfully he woke up. He was like, you passed, didn't you? I was like, yeah. He was like, all right, Tish, I'm about to roll back over because I got to be at work. So I'm like, all right. So I'm just on cloud 20. Now, mind you, we get vital signs at work. We supposed to get vital signs at 4:30. I checked at 4 o'clock. I ain't come from outside till about 4:30, 4:45. Call him. I'm texting line sisters. I'm texting best friends. Like, my entire circle, I'm texting all of them. Because I just kept checking. Like, even to this day, I still keep checking. I just don't, I believe that it's true, and I know that it's true, but I'm just in awe because it's just a God thing. Like, it was nobody but him. Nobody but him. All throughout school, nobody but him. At this moment, nobody but him. He gets all the glory, all the praise. I'm just so glad he saw fit in me to be able to bless me with this opportunity and then to be able to share it with you all. So, I am a registered nurse. I am excited. I trust God with this entire process. And so I just want to encourage you all to do the same. Trust him. Try him. He won't fail you. You call on his name. You call on the name of Jesus. And he gonna be there. I promise you. You do the work. Because faith without works is dead. So you gotta do the work. You have to. Because initially my test date was May 15th. But I didn't do the work. I hadn't done the work. I hadn't put in the work that was necessary to get me to this point. So I pushed it back another 2 weeks. And that was a challenge because I didn't think, because I had gotten it from a scripture, 1 John 5 and 14, 15. So it's basically saying, make your requests be known to God, and he hears you, and he will, give you what you asked for. So that I was standing on that word, so I was hoping that I could take it that day, but I just knew, because faith without works is dead. Just because I believed that and hadn't put in the work, it was gonna be dead. So I had to put in the work. So once I put in the work, baby, May 29th, I was ready to go. So yeah, so I just want to encourage you all to put your faith in God. do the work, put in the work, because it's so easy to become complacent after you finish that final exam and to not want to pick up a book, not want to answer another question. But unfortunately, those of us that are in healthcare, in nursing, doctors, lawyers, we don't get that luxury whenever we take our final exam. We have to keep pushing because our degree is good, yes, and it will allow us to do certain things, but it won't allow us to put all our skills to use until we get these license and certifications or pass that bar or pass those boards. Like, it just won't. So I just say do the work, and even when you don't feel like doing the work, you keep doing the work. You take your breaks, because I'm a firm believer that, if you feel like you're not in the right headspace to do no studying, don't. Allow yourself that time, but also don't wallow in that and don't stay there, because you have to put in the work. You have to do the work. So I just want to encourage you all. If you guys want to know, I'll probably still make another video about just my nursing school process and, the struggles and what I went through personally. And then also any of the testing tools that I may have used. If you want to know that, then I'll be more than welcome and probably will share those, as well as any scriptures that I used to kind of get me through and to keep me encouraged and empowered. I'll be more than welcome to share those with you. And if you just need a prayer, I believe in being everybody's cheerleader that's trying to better themselves, because that's what it's about, building a community and being able to encourage others. But yeah, so I love y'all. I look forward to talking with y'all again and just getting, just putting my story out there, because though millions of people are on YouTube, nobody has a story like mine. And what's for me will be for me, and what's for them will be for them. But I just want to encourage you, even if this is your second or third or fourth or fifth time taking the NCLEX, I just want to pray that you just keep pushing. I know sometimes you can get discouraged and defeated, but there are others that are in your boat. I've known people that have taken it 4 or 5 times and passed. Like, your license doesn't say how many times you had to take your NCLEX. It just says that you're a registered nurse, and or you're a licensed practical nurse. Either way, you're a nurse, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So if you're in your first semester of school, or first quarter of school, or your last semester of school, or quarter of school, then you're a nurse. You've been a nurse. This ain't one of those things that you just wake up and say, oh, I want to do. You got to have a heart and a passion to put yourself through this grueling and agonizing process. But like I said, I love y'all. I'll keep you all in my prayers. Anybody that is trying to take, wanting to take or about to take the NCLEX or go to nursing school, I'm here for you. If you need my help, talk to me. Reach out, comment below, and show me a little love and thumbs up. And thank you for your time and just listening to me and my story. All right. Love you.